Nocked and ready to rock.
Well, congratulations on completing a professional build. Now we're going to go ahead and shoot that bow through paper at about 3 yards to do what's called paper tuning. Paper tuning isn't the last thing that you're going to do for tuning, but it is the first step of that process. Paper tuning gives you an immediate indication. Not only do you have a great preset for your arrow rest, but also it helps troubleshoot any types of potential problem areas that you might have. I'm going to walk you through the different types of tears that you can see and help indicate some of the potential problems that might be giving you those results. So right here in the center is a perfect bullet hole. That's ultimately what most people are after. That shows you that the shaft is going perfectly through the paper, and you can see the 3 slices from your fletchings, and it's ultimately telling you that it's going perfectly through the paper without having any side to side or up and down movement. So the bullet hole is ultimately what we're after. Now when it comes to left and right tears, either one, those are going to be adjusted by moving your arrow rest to the right or to the left. Now on this right tear right here, you can see the point of the arrow goes in here, and by the fletchings ripping out to the right, it's showing you that it's a right tear. So you counter that by moving your rest opposite. So you're going to move your rest slightly to the left. Moving your arrow rest a little bit goes a long way. For left and right, we move our arrow rest opposite. For up and down, we're going to move our arrow rest in the same direction. So with left and right tears, if you do move your arrow rest a little bit, one way or the other, to counteract that tear, but you continue to get the same tear, then that's telling you that there could be another issue. With left and right tears that you can't get out, they are a result of a lot of times improper arrow flight due to facial pressure or improper release. If you release and you're coming out away from your face, you send that arrow away all the time and the arrow rest isn't able to correct it. Same is true for people that have a lot of facial pressure on the arrow shaft. If you have a lot of facial pressure, then it's going to cause that arrow to get away from your face each and every time, and again, the arrow rest won't correct that. Another thing a left or right tear can indicate is an improper grip. If you're really torquing your bow, then you're going to find these left and right tears are going to be pretty prominent, and even when you make those adjustments, you're still going to have those tears there. If you are having those issues, then really focus on your grip position and talk about some of the points that we discussed in that earlier dead center segment and see if that corrects those problems. Now for highs and lows, again, we're going to move the arrow rest in the same direction as that tear. So here's a low tear with your point, and then it's tearing low. So what that tells us is we need to move our rest obviously down. And if we move it down and you still have that same tear, then a lot of times a low tear, even when you're moving your rest and it isn't reacting, means that your arrow shaft could be too stiff. The way to do that is to first increase the poundage of your bow by a few pounds and see if the hole gets better. Otherwise, you can also do the same thing by adding point weight to your arrow shaft, which also weakens it. High tears like this, if you move your rest and they don't come out, then that's an indicator that your veins could be contacting the rest and actually skipping up each and every time. That's a very common problem for people that have fletching contact. Now in this case, up here in the top left, you'll actually see a high right tear. So if this was our tear through paper, in order to correct this, because it's going off to the right, we're going to move our rest to the left a little bit, and we're also going to move our arrow rest up a little bit as well. And ideally, we're going to end up getting that bullet hole in the center. For this tear right here, this is what we would call a low left tear. And for that, we're going to move our rest to the right, and we're also going to move our rest slightly down. These are the basis of paper tuning, and again, a great starting point for your initial bow setup and your initial arrow tuning.
Nocked and ready to rock.